All right, if you get up early and watch Fox 58 on Mondays, 4 o'clock, they have a fantastic show called The Issue Is. And it's all about talking about politics around California. And a lot of things happen around the globe. Elex Michaelson, the host of that show, is here to talk about that show and so many other things happening. Elex, I think you are the busiest man in television.
No, I think that's you.
No?
I mean...
We will arm wrestle this one out. We'll have to.
Yeah. We don't have time to. That's the problem.
We don't. So I want to get into the, I feel like on the news a lot the last 2-3 weeks. Jeffrey Epstein, let's talk this. Yep. During the presidential race, Republicans wanted transparency on that case. Every document should come out highlighting who was involved in the sex trade scheme. However, Attorney General Pam Bondi a few weeks ago said, well, there's actually nothing to see here. And that didn't go over well for MAGA crowd and also didn't for many Americans. So now some of the California lawmakers, such as Congressman Khanna, Senator Adam Schiff, they're wanting to bring more light to it. But I have to ask you this. Couldn't these congressmen and senators, couldn't they have asked for these documents in the last 4 years?
They could have. That is one of the questions: is why didn't, if there was more there, why didn't the Biden administration do more with it? Is one of the things that's being brought up. We know now that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files, which is not a huge surprise since we know that the two of them were buddies, which was not a secret, that they used to party together and they used to hang out, and Epstein came to Trump's wedding, the second wedding. So it would make sense that he had some information about him in his files. The question is, what did he have? What is the there? President Trump denied publicly that his name was in the files, and now we learned that he knew from May that his names were in the files. So there's still a lot of questions about what exactly this is. Clearly, President Trump is trying every possible way to change the subject, but even a lot of Republicans in Congress want to know more information. And at a time where it's relatively slow news week, this thing continues to dominate the conversation.
Yeah, every time you turn around, there's something more that comes out with this. The interesting thing I find out about it, though, is that it's going through the courts. The courts have now said they need more information from Pam Bondi if they want to release it through some of these documents. Is that's the case?
That's part of it, yeah. I mean, because usually you do not release grand jury privileged information, especially information that includes potentially child pornography, or information about victims. I mean, think about what this case actually is about. I mean, it's about a pedophile and potential pedophile ring. And a lot of the children who were victims of that may not want all their information out there so that the media is hounding them too. So this is sometimes thought of as sort of like a Washington game, but there are real victims associated with that, and we should be thinking about them too.
Yeah, I agree. And I think what the people really want to know is, who are the bad guys here? Is it President Trump? Is it, I know former President Clinton's involved in that as well. There's so many different names that could be a part of this. I think it's what the people really want to know.
Right. I mean, because for years they've been talking about where the elites basically protected, and this story was hidden from us because the elites were protecting themselves. And now that President Trump is running the country and is part of the elites, not that he wasn't part of the elites before, is he part of that? It was Bill Clinton part of that? Or were they knew him, but they weren't a part of that, and they kind of were grossed out about this like everybody else?
All right, one of these other stories that have been popping up in the news, I don't feel like it's getting enough coverage. California and Texas looking to redraw their congressional maps. Now, does that mean this could play a big role in electoral college votes if they do so down the line for a presidential race?
Not for the Electoral College.
Okay.
It would make a big deal, though, for Congress and who controls the House. So basically, you could end up with a different member of Congress if this goes through. So during the Schwarzenegger administration, California made the decision that we're going to do what's called an independent redistricting commission. So it's not going to be politicians drawing the lines. It's not going to be Democrats trying to make the congressional races as democratic as possible. We're going to try to make this more fair, less partisan, more close congressional races, which results in like the David Valadao race, which a lot of your viewers are familiar with. One of the closest, most expensive, most competitive races in the country because the congressional races are built so that they would be close. Well, Texas is saying, look, we want to game the system. We want to have more Republicans in the House, so we're going to try to redraw our lines with Republicans to benefit Republicans and kick out Democrats. So Governor Newsom has said, okay, if you guys are going to do that, then we're going to do the same. We're going to redraw our lines to kick out Republicans and have more Democrats, both trying to win control of the House, kind of flying against the idea that, frankly, a lot of us like, which is let's have the country be less partisan, not more partisan. Now, and so that's part of what's going on here.
As somebody, I want it to be fair down the line no matter what. How does somebody like you and I, how the people that live here in these counties and these districts, how do we make it fair either way? I mean, I would rather just, not the politics to get involved here.
Well, if they do this, if California ends up doing this or trying to do this, they would have to go to the people for a vote because the Independent Redistricting Commission is something that voters chose to do. So to undo it, they would need to go back to voters. So voters would have an ability to vote against it if they don't like it.
Interesting. But then again, people just have to go out and vote then. And
right.
It's not always easy to get everyone to vote. Well, Elex, we appreciate your time this morning. Of course, the issue is up on Mondays at 4 a.m. We're working on a better time for you. This week, by the way, a little plug, what's on the show this week?
We've got Frank Luntz, political strategist. We got Corinne Rankin, the chair of the California Republican Party. And we've got Clayton Kershaw, the legendary Dodger pitcher, one of the most charitable people in all of sports. We handed out 3,000 backpacks with him for his 3,000th strikeout, hung out at the Dream Center, a place I think you would really, really love. I don't know if you've been there before.
I've been there. I was a part of the Dream Center when it was originally in Phoenix,
Yeah, that seems very right up your alley. And so we talked to him about family, faith, baseball, all that kind of stuff on the issue is.
He had a great moment in the All-Star game when he was mic'd up.
We talked to him about that and what it was like to be mic'd up. So that's all coming up on the issue is.
Well, Elex, we really appreciate your time, man, this morning. And once again, hardest working man in an industry.
Thanks.
We really appreciate
Thank
your
you,
time,
Aaron.
sir.
Appreciate it.
All right, man.